Okay, transport in plants. Here, before going to transport in plants, have a look on water and the relationship of water with cell and living organisms. Okay, you know, entire living organism, that means life, first living organism or life originated from water only. That means life originated from water in aqueous environment. Aqueous environment. A living organism, first living organism which was developed on Earth was originated in aqueous environment. And even that first living organism was developed, that living organism was changed into different forms. So that change in form is called what? Evolution. This evolution is also highly dependent on water. Highly dependent on water. Suppose if we take plants which have more water, that means the plants which are living in water, they are called hydrophytes, you know. That hydrophytes have some type of structure, anatomy, morphology. Plants which are growing on normal amounts of water, they have a particular physiology, morphology, anatomy. But plants which are living in dry areas, dry conditions means where there is no water, that plants have some different structure, xerophytes. Okay, so plant is responsible for water, and so this water is very important. So water is called as liquid of life. Liquid of life. Water is very important for living organisms, so it is called as liquid of life. Okay, so this water is very important, especially in plants. Water is very important, and that water is maintaining several metabolic activities which is responsible for the life processes. If you see that importance, water occupies 90 to 95% of protoplasm or a cell. Under biomolecules lesson, in biomolecules lesson we told you cellular composition of water is 90 to 95%. 90 to 95% of total weight of protoplasm is made of water. 90 to 95% of protoplasm mass or weight is occupied by water only. That means water is very important constituent of the protoplasm. And when water is absent, protoplasm becomes inactive. Protoplasm becomes inactive. Inactive means there is no functioning of the protoplasm. Protoplasm starts to function. Inactive means it is said to be dead and even dead. Protoplasm becomes inactive and even dead. There is no functioning. So living organism cannot be living without water. Okay. Here, in absence of water, when water is absent, different biomolecules are there, you know, that different molecules like carbohydrates, even lipids, proteins, enzymes, these molecules, in absence of water, they lose their properties, even physical and chemical properties. The physical and chemical properties of water will be lost in absence of water. So water is very important to maintaining the properties of biomolecules. Carbohydrates are important because they provide energy. Lipids are responsible for structure and also what? Plasma membrane formation. Proteins are giving structure. Enzymes are carrying metabolic properties or metabolic reactions. So that physical and chemical properties are maintained. Okay. Water is essential for metabolism. Water is essential for metabolism. So water involves directly in metabolism, breakdown or synthesis of materials. Suppose if we take photosynthesis. Photosynthesis cannot be completed. There is no glucose synthesis in absence of water. Breakdown of glucose will give carbon dioxide and water in reverse. Glucose is broken down means again there is formation of carbon dioxide and water. For that process also there is need of water. It is directly involved in metabolism and it increases rate of respiration. Respiration is energy metabolism, you know. The rate of respiration can be increased by water. So it is one is responsible. Okay. And suppose water is responsible as a source for hydrogen atoms in redox reaction. It acts as source of hydrogen atoms. Source of hydrogen atoms in redox reactions. Redox reactions, you know, where both reduction and oxidation processes are taking place. For that redox reactions, this hydrogen source is nothing but water. And seed germination needs water. These 4 points I will erase. Water is needed for germination of seeds. For the germination of seeds, water is very important. That is one thing. And water acts as universal solvent. Universal solvent means many molecules can be dissolved in water. It carries many molecules by transport also. Okay. And so this water is involving in these functions, and even water is responsible for transpiration also. I mean, opening and closing of leaf stomata based on water only. On surface of leaf, there are stomata. That stomata are responsible for transpiration and exchange of gases. So that opening and closing of stomata will help in respiration and photosynthesis also. Exchange of gases and loss of water vapor. That is the major function of that opening and closing of stomata. That is based on water only. Okay. And this cell majorly composed of water, right? That water forms a major fraction of the cytosol, you know. Cytosol has a major fraction of water that is responsible for many properties. Each cell surrounded by thin layer of water. Each cell surrounded by a thin layer of water. Surrounding each cell there is presence of a thin layer of water that is responsible for movements. So that thin layer of water which is present here, that is responsible for many properties like transport of solutes from one cell to another cell. There is a transport by this, and second one is for transfer of gametes also it is involving. Mobility or movement of gametes. Okay, and it is responsible to provide support in aquatic plants. Aquatic plants have less developed xylem phloem. As phloem, xylem is less developed, supporting tissues like skeletal structures, there is less developed. Okay, that is one important. And this water is also playing an important role in tropical plants where thermal regulation is carried. Next point. Thermal regulation means maintaining temperature. Thermal regulation in terrestrial plants. Terrestrial plants means which are growing on land. They are also called as a mesophyte. In terrestrial plants, it is responsible for temperature control. Okay, it is responsible for what? Seed germination also, like that. Okay. If you see the water content, usually the plants, higher plants especially, higher plants means which have developed root and shoot system. Higher plants absorb water from soil by roots. For the absorption of water from the soil, the plants, higher plants have structures called as roots. Roots are responsible for absorption. Okay? But some plants like orchids, they directly absorb from environments. In orchids, there are no roots. Directly they will absorb water from the environment. Okay, because they have what? Absorbing roots or velamen roots. Then, if you see the water which is present in soil, the water which is present in soil can be divided into three. Okay? So, water is present in different forms of the soil. So, the chief source of water is soil, you know, the main source of water for plants is soil. This soil has water, the total amount of water present in the soil, total water in soil across the earth, total water present in the soil is called as hollowed water. Hollowed water. Okay? And which is water available to plants. Water which is available to plants is called as crassad soil. Crassad. And water which is unavailable to plants. Unavailable. Unavailable means all the water which is present in the soil that is not taken by plants. That water which is not available to plants is called as echoed water. That means take a soil, in the soil plants are growing. So water which is present near to roots that can be absorbed by the plant for the growth. But if water is present in very deep portions of the soil, around kilometers, inside the soil below kilometers of depth, there may be presence of water. That water is not available to plants. The water which is not available to plants, that is called as what? Echoed water. Chief source of soil is water. Sorry. Chief source of water is soil. Chief source of water is soil. That means soil is providing majority of water to the living organisms. Okay? Copy these points. Copy these points, then we will see some more. You have completed, good. Next, yeah, completed, good. Can I write? Yes. Yeah. So, if you see water after rain, so major part of water which drains away. When it rains, major part of the water is draining away, moving. That is called as runaway water. Runaway water, and it is not available to plants. The runaway water of rain is not available to plants. And so, one second please. Sir, namaste. Sir. Next, some part of the water which is present in soil particles. A part of water, some part of the water which is present between soil particles. So under the ground, between soil particle, water is absorbed down. That is called gravitational water. A part of water which is present between soil particles is called gravitational water. It is due to gravity, it is reaching. Okay, it is also out of plant's reach. That means this is also not available to plants, which is present at more depth of the soil. Then another part of the soil or water which is available to water, water which is available to plants, water which is available to plants, that is called capillary water. Okay, what is another term for the water which is available to plants? What is another term of the water? Yeah, crescent water. Crescent water is which is water available to the plants. So water available to plants is called as capillary water. It forms a thin film around colloidal particles of the soil. It is a thin film, that means a thin layer which is present between colloids or colloidal particles in soil. Inside the soil particles are combining with water and forms the that look like capillaries. Yes. So soil particles are present. Along with soil particles, this water will mix and there is formation of a thin layer. That is what we call a capillary. That capillary water is absorbed by the plants. That is one thing. Okay. And the total amount of water, next point, total amount or total volume of water which is retained by soil, is called field capacity. Field capacity. That field capacity is differs from soil to soil depending on the size of the soil particles. It differs from soil to soil, which is based on size of soil particles. This field capacity means the amount of water which can be retained, or soil can withhold some amount of water, right? How much a soil can withhold water? How much of the water can be withhold or retained by the soil particles? That is called what? Field capacity. This field capacity is different from plant to plant. It is different from different from soil to soil. If soil has more particle size means, then water amount present in the soil will be less. Soil particle size is more means water amount present in that soil is very less. If soil particle size is less means in middle of that capillaries there will be more water, so that soil with less particle size or small particles will have more water. So capillary water of a soil is more, or even gravitational water also. So gravitational water or capillary water which is present in middle of the soil particles is more. Yeah, water cycle means water will grow to, what is your doubt? In water cycle, Yo, many times you are saying same. In water cycle, water goes from soil and again goes to soil now. Then how water scarcity is possible? Water scarcity is possible. Yeah, in water cycle what happens? During water cycle, some amount of the water may be there. What is environmental water in the form of water vapor? Water vapor is there. That is one thing. And the streaming water which is available on surface of the earth, that is one kind of water. Another water is what? Hygroscopic water. Hygroscopic water means which is present below the ground. Okay, that is hygroscopic water. Sorry, no, not hygroscopic. What is gravitational water? I told you that gravitational water, streaming water, water vapor, they are different. But total water in the universe is said to be constant, you know. Not constant, but it is maintained. Different forms of water is there. Water is changing from one form to another form. Water is changing from one form to another form. When the metabolism is developing or carrying, when the metabolism is carrying and there is formation of new biomolecules, some amount of water will be converted into biomolecules, and from the oxidation of the biomolecules, there is getting back of the water. Suppose take that 6CO2 plus 6H2O, balance reaction of photosynthesis I am writing. C6H12O6 plus 6O2. Okay, suppose water is there. When photosynthesis is taking place, there is a lot of water in photosynthesis which is converted into food molecule. When this is broken down again, then again there is formation of water. If biomass is increased more means, if biomass is increased more means, then some of the water may be converted into organic compounds. Then there may be decreasing in water. That is one thing. Temperature is increased more means water may be converting into water vapor. Streaming water may not be available more. So water is changing from one form to another form. Due to the changing from one form to another form, some areas there may be scarcity. Some areas there will be floods. Water may be more available. So that is depending on the environmental factors. And capillary hygroscopic water, just now remembered. Hygroscopic water. Another type of water. Here what I told you, capillary water means which is present between colloidal particles. Suppose the soil particles are there like this means, here these are colloids means between, this is one colloid, this is one colloid particles means between them there is presence of a layer of water, that is called as what? Capillary water. Okay. And hygroscopic water means water which is present in colloidal particles. Water which is holded means held by colloid particles of soil. This is a colloid means within the colloid this water is present, that is what hygroscopic water. This is not drawn or absorbed by roots. Roots cannot absorb water. So water is runaway water, which is runaway water. Runaway water is also not available to roots. Gravitational water also not available to roots. And hygroscopic water also not available to roots. The only water which is available to roots of plants is capillary water. Capillary water is only available form. Okay. So the total amount of water which is present in particular volume of the soil is called as field capacity. This field capacity can also be called what? Another person is there, another point. Field capacity is holding capacity. holding capacity, how much of water can be held or bound with soil, that is also called as hold capacity or field capacity. Field capacity is different from soil to soil, and based on the field capacities, different soils may have different water ratios, and that different water ratios may be available to plants in different proportions. Okay, this is some points regarding the water. Then we'll see transport in water. Water held by the colloid particles is called as hygroscopic water that cannot be taken by the roots. Then see how plants transport. Transport of water in plants, or not only water, any material transports in plants. Normally, for transport in animals, there is the presence of some transport system. In animals, even in human beings, what is the transport system that is responsible for transport of materials across the body? To all parts of the body, there is a transport of materials. There is a circulatory system present in animals. That circulatory system composed of blood vessels, hearts, everything, So that is responsible for transport where gases or food materials can be transported to all parts of the body. But in plants, is there any transport system? Means xylem and phloem is responsible for transport. Here, if you see human length or height of the humans or height of the animals or height of the plants. Plant height is relatively very more or very long when compared to height of the animals. Humans may have 6 feet height, an average maximum, but plants may have 100 meters of height. Some of the plants like pinus, gymnosperms can grow up to 100 meters. 100 meters of height means that is very more height. So that is a wondering thing that substances are moving from roots to very tall parts of the plant in very more distance. So water reaches to top portions of plants. Water reaches to top portion of plants, but this very more height. But here the movement is what we can say, movement of water is cell to cell movement. Cell to cell. That means from the root, stem and everything is there means stem is made up of different types of tissues and cells. In that water is first moving, entering a cell, from that cell to next cell, next cell, next cell, next cell. Movement of water in plants is cell to cell movement. Okay? Whether all substances are moving in same direction means there is actually water movement. Water movement is unidirectional. In single direction there is movement. Multi-directional movement is also there. What is that? Yeah, xylem, correct. Multi-directional movement is also seen, which is responsible to carry food material. The food materials in plants are moved in multi-directional. For this transport, there is metabolic energy is required for the transport of material from less height from low parts of the plant to high parts of the plant, there is a need of metabolic energy. Okay, and the plants, because they are very long or very height in size, need to move substances over a long distances. Like in human beings, the transport of circulation is not over small distances like within feet. From heart to brain means just a small distance. Like that there is small distance, but here very long distance is there than animals. In animals, there is short distances, but plants have no circulatory system like this. Plants do not have any circulatory system for the transport over long distances, do not have. Okay, and the water is taken up. Water is taken up by roots. Water is taken up by roots to reach all parts of the plant. All parts of the plant means even stem, leaf, branches and everything. Okay, even up to the growing tip, that means very tall parts, highest parts, that is also taken. And in photosynthesis, food is prepared. What is the food is preparing in photosynthesis? What is the food preparing in photosynthesis means? Like glucose starch. And that is carried to all parts of plants. Where photosynthesis takes place in plants? Anyone tell me? Where do photosynthesis carry? Yes, leaf. Leaves are responsible for photosynthesis. Plant leaves. But it should be carried to root tips also. All parts of the plant is preparing food. But what is the lowest part of the plant? Root is there, but deep below the root there is presence of root end or root tip. That root tips also need this food. So that is also being moved from leaf to root tips. So there is transport. That is enough. Transport carried, I wrote na, carried to root tip also. That is also a type of movement. Food is being prepared. Okay. Here, this movement, what is movement? Water which is absorbed by the roots and it is reaching all parts of the plant, and the food which is prepared in leaf and it is being carried to the tip of the roots. That movement across short distances. Short distance means within very less distance within the cell or across the cell to cell is taking place. Distances, say, within the cell. Within the cell there is a transport. Within the cell means from one part of the cytoplasm to another part of the cytoplasm. Suppose food is prepared by chloroplast. That chloroplast, then it is released into cytoplasm. Cytoplasm to other organelles also it is carried. So movement across short distances, say within the cell or across the membrane. Across the membrane from cell to cell. From one cell to neighbor cells also it is being carried within the tissue. A tissue is there. Within the tissue, there is a transport of a material from one cell to another cell. See, this type of movement is also there. One cell to adjacent cell, that is also there. And movement from root to tip of the plant. I mean, left height from bottom to top or top to bottom transport is also taking place. Okay. Here, suppose if we understand the movement of materials from one part to another part, then we can understand. Like in cell membrane properties, I told you the properties of cell membrane, where there is exchange of the material. Exchange of the materials is taking place against the concentration. Against the concentration, there is movement. And with the involvement of energy or without the involvement of energy also there is transport. Okay. What is the time? Time is 10:20. 1 second. What is the next class timing? What is the next class timing? 10:30. Yeah. Okay. Enough for today. We'll continue in next class. I will take more classes if possible this week. Okay. Enough for today. Thank you. Bye. Have a great day.